Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. You see it, we're in Shake and Bake. We're out doing another vlog in Shake and Bake. And that's because we don't have the cam installed yet. We're not going to the racetrack, not yet. We're close. We're gonna get it done this week, and we're gonna be at last stand at Cecil County Dragway on the 11th. But this video, what we're going to talk about is what I'm going to call race suspension. Alrighty folks, like I said, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. This video is going to be brought to you by Starck's Performance and Maintenance. Non-paid promotion, by the way. I pay Mike full price to do all my work. So you're getting a unbiased opinion on the work that Mike does. So Starck's Performance and Maintenance, outstanding job. Whatever you need done. Performance, oil changes, suspension changes, transmission changes, whatever engine swaps, forged bottom end, whatever you need done, Starck's Performance and Maintenance can do it. They have many sponsors that basically anything you need done, he's got someone to help you out. So, again, anything you need done, Starck's Performance and Maintenance. Look them up, Essex, Maryland. They're on Facebook and on Instagram. Now, on to the video, folks. I get this question a lot about doing things to your suspension. And I'm primarily talking about your rear suspension. There's a few things you can do up front. But primarily everything is done in the back because that's where the power gets to the ground. So what I'm talking about is, the multiple wheel hop kits that are out there that companies have, AAD, BMR, those are the two big ones that I know of off the top of my head, and I'm sure there's other ones out there. But my recommendation is if you're gonna go race this, I call it race suspension. If you're gonna go that route, AAD is the way to go, 100%. They are a little bit more expensive, but their product is all billet and built to last. But the real reason I'm making this video is people ask me, hey, how does it feel from a daily driving experience, if I do my lower control arms, my upper control arms, and all of that, the cradle lockouts. And I'll also say solid engine mounts, though that's not really suspension related, but I'll talk about solid engine mounts as well. But back to the rear suspension. It is definitely, and that's talking about coilovers, shocks, springs, whatever you do to tighten up your suspension in the rear end is going to change the feel of the car from a daily driving experience. It's just the way it is. The factory suspension is a great suspension. I ran my factory suspension for a long time and did very well with it. But let's be honest, it's basically designed for comfort and the track. Right? So you're losing some of that traction ability to get comfort when you're daily driving your car. So for example, stock suspension, a stock car going over, literally, potholes, small little potholes. Even, I'll call them more like divots in the road, right? Stock suspension, you're not really going to feel that. Now, when you go back and you change it and you stiffen up your suspension, with the cradle to put the power to the ground, cradle lockouts, the wheel hop kits to change all of the different arms in the rear, your experience is going to be a lot different. Now, it's not something you can't get used to. So it took me a little while to kind of get used to it. But you begin to feel everything in the road. So something you would normally, in your stock suspension, that you would normally, go over and not really feel it, you're going to feel it in a race type suspension. That's just the nature of the beast. The larger potholes, you're really gonna feel it. Right? It's just, you're gonna feel, arguably, you're more connected with the road because you're feeling more of the road, but it is going to be stiffer. You are going to, feel those bumps. You're going to hear those bumps when you go over. It's just the way it is. But like I said, it's not something you can't get used to. Now, if you do one or two things, like a lot of people do lower control arms first, and then, you move your way up to maybe demon springs and some different shocks, or maybe possible coilovers. If you do it in steps, the less you're going to notice it as you do steps. But if you do it all at once, you're really gonna notice it. So I kind of did mine in steps. It is a little bit more expensive that way than straight out buying the full kit, because you're buying each piece individually. But you can kind of gauge your taste for how much of the road you want to feel by doing it in steps, by doing it all at once. But I mean, if you're like me and you're going to do more track car than street car, go straight for the wheel hop kit. Get a little bit off, buy it a little bit cheaper. But just recognize, from a daily driving perspective, your feeling of the road is going to change, and it's going to be much stiffer, I'll call it much harder. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just, you're going to hear more of the bumps, you're going to feel more of the bumps, and it's just something, if you're a daily driver, you're just going to have to get used to. So hopefully I answered the question on what I'll call track suspension, because that's really what it's made for, is going to the track. It's not made for daily driving like your stock suspension. I know I'm repeating myself, and I know a lot of people hate it when I repeat myself like this, but it's going to change the feel of the car when you're daily driving. So like I said, hopefully I answered the question. Any questions you guys have, you can still hit me up on Instagram. Feel free. It may take me a day or two to get to you. My Instagram's getting a little bit busier than usual. But it may take me a little while to get to you, but I'll get back to you eventually. And if I can't answer your question, I'll point you in the direction to someone that can. But that's going to do it for this video, folks. If you're stopping in for the first time, please check out the rest of the channel. If you like what's going on with the rest of the channel, do me them few things. Like, subscribe, smash the bell, shoot me a comment, share it on your social media. I'll definitely appreciate it. Shake and Bake would definitely appreciate it, because every red penny from YouTube goes right back into Shake and Bake. That's going to do it for this one, folks. Until next one, adios.